You're watching NCAA Gymnastics on ESPN Plus. Today, the eyes of the college gymnastics world are on Morgantown as West Virginia hosts #2 Florida and #4 Utah here at the Coliseum. Two teams that finished 3rd and 4th respectively at Nationals last year, visiting in Morgantown for a Mountaineer team that is on the rise. And you see this top 10, they're right back where they belong, right back where they were last year. 2 of the top 4 in the nation, a lot of SEC flavor in that top 10 as well. Michael Minnick, Kaylin Mullock, we're going to see some fantastic gymnastics today. So excited.
This Coliseum is so exciting right now. Everyone is buzzing with excitement. I know that the message to the teams from each of these 3 coaches is to really be present and to be grateful for this opportunity to compete today. I know I'm grateful to be able to watch and commentate for them as well.
So many good gymnasts we're going to see today. Let's highlight a couple of them. For West Virginia, sophomore Journey Wayne has really improved this year.
The thing I love about Journey is I love the increase in her confidence this year. She really had to step up to fill spots as a freshman last year due to injuries. She's taking every opportunity she's been given to really maximize her experience, adding events, so I'm excited to see her today.
McKenna Smith, a model of consistency. 128 for 128 on routines in her career.
An unbelievable career for McKenna. Coach Carly says she's not afraid to go out and be herself. She has scored already this year a career high all around of a 39.725. She's going to continue to be great for the Utahs.
Selena Harris Miranda had a season best 39.625 in the all-around. She was the inside gymnastics gymnast of the week.
An unexpected transfer from UCLA. She's a 12-time American for UCLA. She has a career high all-around of a 39.9. Was a 2024 Pac-12 Gymnast of the Year. She's going to be great for the Gators. 3
excellent coaches. Jason Butt said his team had a great day of practice on Friday. Leading into this meet, they are confident defending their home turf here at the Coliseum. Meanwhile, Utah, Carly Dockendorf came in, had the best first year ever for a coach in this country's history in gymnastics. 3rd at Nationals last year. And then Jenny Rowland, if you count the postseason, she's the only SEC coach active now with more than 200 wins. It's going to be a recipe for a wonderful day of gymnastics here at the Coliseum. Back after this with the first rotation. Made for the first rotation here at the WVU Coliseum, West Virginia, Florida, and Utah in a tri-meet today. First tri-meet in 5 years for Florida, and here's the format. 6 compete, you keep the top 5 scores, you drop the bottom one, and then the highest score wins. So you want to get 50 per rotation, that's the goal. 200 is a perfect score for the meets.
Yeah, important to note here for a tri-meet, all of the events are going to go at the same time, so it can be a little chaotic, but it's going to be really fun here in the Coliseum today. Like you mentioned, Michael, 6 routines go, 5 scores will count. It gives a little bit of leeway to make a mistake, but ultimately all these teams want to hit today.
Vault liner for West Virginia is young, starting 4 freshmen out of the 6 spots.
Yeah, West Virginia is going to really try to hone in on those landings. That's Jason's big goal today, so we'll see how they start that off on vault.
Contrast that with bars for Florida. 3 seniors, 1 junior. They are tied for 6th in the nation on this apparatus.
A very strong bar lineup, but again, all these teams are going to maximize team score today, so it's really important to be clean and consistent today.
I don't want to say weakest of it because they're 11th in the nation, but this is the event that Utah is the lowest ranked on. They're excellent in all 4.
Utah has an excellent floor team, a lot of style in their choreography. So again, like I mentioned, everyone's going to want to really be clean and consistent today and put out the best score they can.
What's Jason Butt saying in that huddle right now?
Basically, the biggest thing is all the preparation's done, right? You have to do 1 routine. That's so easy for these athletes, but sometimes you can get in your head. So just really letting loose, and right here, each of these athletes just starting each team off strong.
So Brooke Albin on vault for West Virginia. We'll see Sloan Bakley on bars for Florida, and then Ashley Glenn leading off on 4 for Utah.
It's really exciting to have all these teams competing in the Coliseum today. It's been a while since we've had some top teams other than when hosting regionals, so just like I said, the buzz and the excitement of the environment is what's going to really fuel these athletes today. I'm excited. Yeah,
the last meet that a team was ranked this high was back in 2021 when Oklahoma was here. That was during COVID restrictions, though, so there was not a full crowd. Like you said, this atmosphere is fantastic here in Morgantown.
And a beautiful start for Florida. Sloan has been such a staple for this Florida gymnastics team on bars, competing all around here today. You know, as a senior, that's the way you want to start off your lineup.
Yeah, 9.9 season best, 9.925 her career best for Blakely on bars.
And Brooke Albin starting off on vault over there with the stick plunger.
Yeah, one of the more iconic headpieces in gymnastics across the country. We've got a plunger at our desk, too. It's not quite as well decorated as that one.
Yeah, that one's getting fancier, the more the weeks go by. Ashley Glenn on floor, ending with a beautiful combo pass, 1.5 front layout. The cool thing about gymnastics is, you know, it depends on, it doesn't matter necessarily what you're ranked as a team, right? Everyone starts the day as a clean slate. Everyone's got to go out and do their job. We've already had some upsets this season, so you never know what's going to happen. And so I'm really excited to just see these teams go through this meet today.
You can see the confidence from Glenn on 4. Had a 9-9 her career best on this event 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
Ashley's been working really hard. She came from Temple, was a transfer from her freshman year, did all around there. And, you know, she's been trying to crack that all around in Utah. And someone that Carly has said has just really the best work ethic, and she's really trying to just enjoy her experience and maximize her performance so she can maximize her team's performance. So she's putting in a lot of hard work.
On deck, West Virginia's Taylor Tui vaulting, Anya Pilgrim on bars for Florida, and we will see Ella Zerbis in the 3rd spot for Utah on 4. 9.875 shown as the first score on bars for Florida.
Anya Pilgrim here doing a beautiful pack salto to start. Nice cast to handstand. That's important to note for viewers at home. The things that our judges are going to look for on bars in particular are going to be execution, hitting those handstands, toe point all the way through, and stuck dismounts right here. Beautiful job for the sophomore.
So Anya Pilgrim finishing up. Saw the 9.625 flash for Brooke Albin on vault. That's the first Mountaineer score. Taylor Tui will be their second vaulter.
Taylor here does a Yurchenko 1.5. Gets good height off the table. Does take a little bit of pike down in step, but overall, Taylor normally does a very controlled Yurchenko full, so good vault for her.
9.85, the lead-off score on 4 for Ashley Glenn and Utah.
Ella Zerbis here going for Utah on floor in the 2nd position.
Career best of a 9.95 in this event, had a 9.725 as her season best 2 weeks ago.
Ella starts with a really nice E-pass front double full, very clean, controlled landing there. Ella, just a sophomore on this Utah team, was an NCAA All-American on vault and floor, or excuse me, on vault and bars last year as just a freshman. She's hit 34 of 38 routines, so really impressive track record for her just as a sophomore. She has a career high of a 9.95 on this event, so.
And it's going to be a 9.925 for Anya Pilgrim on bars. 3rd spot for the Gators belongs to Riley McCusker.
Just saw in your top left corner, Journey Lane's vault debut as a Mountaineer. Like I mentioned earlier, she's been working really hard to get in this lineup, and she just nailed a Yurchenko full. A little bit of a sizable hop there, but again, first time out doing vault in the Coliseum as a Mountaineer. You saw on the bottom there, Riley McCusker shows exactly her experience. She's a 6-time U.S. national team member in a U.S. championship with team gold medalist in 2018 World Championships. So you can see how well she does with the Gators here on bars.
Another look at Journey Lane's vault.
This Journey does another Yurchenko full. Really big vault there. She actually probably doesn't need to take that pike down, but again, first time out, she's a little bit excited to be adding events here and there, and I think she's doing a great job for the Mountaineers.
Taylor Tui with a 9.65 in front of her as the Mountaineers' 2nd vaulter. We're waiting a big score for McCusker on bars for Florida.
See Carly Nelson up next for the Mountaineers here on vault, returning from an Achilles injury last year. So good to see her out again. And another Yurchenko full. It does take a little bit of position deductions. It's important to note that judges have been really judging vault difficult this year.
So this 9.775 for Lane, a very impressive score in that context, leading a her debut on vault for West Virginia.
Very good. You can see a ton of distance there. Carly lands in between those lines. Does take a little bit of a hop. That's something Jason wanted to work on. But again, after coming back from an injury and adding this event, it's really impressive for Carly.
Riley McCusker puts a 9-9 up on bars for 4-0. Now we'll see Sky Blakely, the second Blakely on this Florida team, in the 4th position for the Gators.
So cool to see Sky and Sloan being able to compete together. It's super rare. We talked to Coach Jenny about that. She said it's just really awesome to watch. Just their overall, how they work together every single day has been really, really special. So excited to watch her here on bars.
Built-in team chemistry as well when you have sisters.
Absolutely. Really nice routine going for Sky. Had a little bit of a hard time with this dismount here. Let's see if she can get it. Pulls in a tiny bit, wasn't able to get enough rotation, take that tiny step forward, but important to note, Sky also is coming off of an Achilles injury.
Ella Zerbis had a 9.825 on the floor for Florida. This is Cami Winger competing now.
We saw Carly DiCello up in the top left corner. Another one of the group of sisters here today.
Yep, on opposite sides. Of course, her sister, Kayla DiCello, injured this year, but one of the best gymnasts in the country when she's healthy. And an easy trip for this family to come over from Boyd's, Maryland in the DMV to Morgantown.
That's always so cool when these girls get to compete kind of close to home. You know, it's easy for their families to drive over or buzz over just to watch them. And it makes it feel special for the athletes as well. So I always love when we get to hear that families are going to be in town and cheering them on.
9.675 to score for Nelson in the 4th vaulting position for West Virginia. So this is Winger, the 3rd competitor on 4 for Utah. West Virginia's had 4 vaulters compete, and Blakely, the 4th Gator on bars.
Cami ends with a really difficult 2.5 pass. It's a little bit uncontrolled, and that landing does take that step out of bounds. You won't see that reflected on her overall score now, but she will have a 10th deduction for that step out of bounds.
Another look at Sky Blakely's routine on bars.
Again, you can see right there, just pulls in a little too much, doesn't fully get that rotation she needs to be able to stick with her chest up, but
it's the Blakely sisters together in younger days.
Again, super cool. You talked about kind of that built-in chemistry, and just Jenny just saying how awesome it's been to see them every single day in practice, the way that Sky just looks up to Sloan and the way that Sloan loves to mentor Sky. Wow, what an awesome combination for the Gators to have on their team.
Now on bars, the Olympian Leanne Wong.
Leanne Wong doing a beautiful bar routine here. You can see just her precision and everything she does in her gymnastics is incredible. Does her dismount here and gets that stick we were just talking about. Beautiful stretch double layout, chest up.
Wong's in that elite club that has gotten a 10 on every event in her college career.
We call that the gym slam. It's incredible. She has a career high of an all-around of a 39.875. She's just had an outstanding career. It's been really fun to watch her through her collegiate and elite career. Another take on that dismount. Just beautiful stretch position. There's nothing that the judge can take on that.
We'll see if they do, but I agree with you.
You never know, but.
So Winger gets a 9.675 on 4 in the 3rd position for Utah. McKenna Smith, who we highlighted in the open, is on deck.
You can see Emerson Smith here on vault for the Mountaineers doing an exhibition routine.
Yep, Sophia Rice finished the rotation up with a 9.7. So West Virginia, which has struggled on vault the last couple weeks, had a good rotation.
See Emerson does a nice Uchenko full, doesn't get a ton of pop off the table, so she has to pike down a tiny bit. But these exhibition routines are so important. It's important to note for the viewers at home, it doesn't count towards the team score, but all of these teams will put on an exhibition today. It just kind of gets them comfortable with competing in an environment. You can kind of simulate that as much as you can during practice, but you never really know how they're going to compete here when they're out in real life. So it's kind of a way to see how they're going to score and just kind of be able to maximize and pick lineups that are going to maximize their team score.
The judges did find a couple fingernails wrong with Leanne Wong, a 9.925 for her on bars.
Pretty impressive score for the Gators.
They will finish up with Selena Harris Miranda, who has been their best all-arounder, but it's kind of pick out of the bag at this point. They've got a fantastic group of all-around gymnasts.
Selena does a beautiful ray there. Let's see, shoot overhand, perfectly stuck. Another nice handstand there, blindfold right on top of the bar, into a double layout. Really difficult combination, a lot of bonus there, and gets that stick as well.
Big smile and the tongue out, very Jordan-esque there.
Just having so much fun. That's something Coach Jenny said about Selena is when she's having the most fun, she's doing her best. So she felt a little bit of pressure coming from the Pac-12, you know, just being a little bit different in the SEC. The SEC is extremely competitive. And she said she was so nervous her first meet, but Jenny just had to remind her that if she's having fun and just doing what she knows how to do, the scores are going to be there.
You see the 48.575 for West Virginia, just a hair off their season best of a 48.6 in the vault rotation. See McKenna Smith here finishing up her routine with a really beautiful combination pass, Rudy layout, step out, and the iconic U at the end there. Another look at Selena Harris, Miranda's routine on bars for the Gators.
And you can see just such precision on all of these Florida gymnastics routines. Does a nice stretch double layout, gets that stick, chest up.
9-9 for her. So, as expected, Florida, one of the best in the nation on bars, living up to it. They're going to drop a 9.825 on bars.
It's not too bad of a start for Florida there on even bars.
See the score there for the Gators, 49.525. Their score for that rotation position. Coming through, West Virginia has finished their rotation as well. They'll drop the 9.625 leading off for Brooke Albin, led by a pair of 9.775. You see the Florida scores there. Pulled out, exactly what you expect from this team.
Absolutely. Like I said, this is the precision in everything that Florida does on uneven bars. You'll see that carry over to the rest of the routines, but great start for the Florida Gators on bars.
Entered tied 6th in the nation on bars. They're going to have an exhibition routine as well. We still have 2 more routines that count on floor for Utah. We will see Jalen Gilstrap and then the Olympian Grace McCallum to close things out. Score going up on floor is a 9-9 for McKenna Smith.
Really nice exhibition routine going here for Florida. Another thing to point out for these exhibition routines is, you know, you kind of push the 6 that are in front of you. Again, that also helps maximize team score. It also just kind of keeps pushing everyone to be better and better each day because, you know, not that necessarily you'll be pulled out of a lineup if you have a mistake, but it gives the coaches, the ability to kind of see who's going to be able to go in those lineups, do well, and ultimately be ready for postseason.
Little Billy Joel in the routine for Gilstrap.
Jalen is a graduate student for this Utah team. She is an NCAA All-American on this event. She's hit 75 of 78 routines in her career. She's the 2024 regional floor champion.
Yeah, career best of a 9.95, season best 9.9, that coming 2 weeks ago.
Just a stunning routine here. You can hear that piano. It was actually really cool on their Utah preview meets. They actually had a pianist doing the routine with her. So really cool, unique situation there. Obviously, you can't do that during a real competition, but I imagine that would have been a really cool thing to see in real life.
You know, they used to do like the exhibitions at the Olympics where they'd have like a fun routine the day after the Olympics. That'd be fun for gymnastics and nationals, right? Bringing the piano players in for some of these.
It would be.
Fun things like that.
Just get creative and kind of switch things up a little bit. But wow, stunning routine for Jaylene. You can tell that she's an All-American on that event.
Utah fans making noise. All 3 fan bases well represented here at the Coliseum. Another look at that pass.
Stunning. You can see the height on both of those skills there. Something the judges are going to want to see, just that elevation of that, especially the second skill, and just the controlled landing.
One more routine in this rotation, and it could be the best. Grace McCallum has a perfect 10 on this event, has a 9.925 this year.
There's probably not enough we can say to glorify Grace and just her career as a gymnast as a whole. But, you know, I remember you on our call asking Carly, what makes Grace so special? And she said, what makes her special is that she's special. She's just an incredible athlete. She's extremely hardworking and extremely humble as well. She's been an incredible leader for this team and just somebody that her teammates can go up to for anything. She inspires them in every aspect of what she does and just really has been grateful for the opportunity to be at Utah as a gymnast, and she really thinks of herself as a member and that everyone's super valuable and equal. So, wow, what a leader for all of those underclassmen to look up to Grace and just the wonderful career she has had.
You mentioned Carly Dockendorf. We hope to have her join us between rotations here to break down this first rotation for Utah. And you know, you talk about the leadership that they're getting from McCallum. Molly O'Keefe comes back on the staff as a student assistant, a legend in a program that's been full of legends over the years in Utah.
I know personally watching Miley O'Keefe just in her career at Utah has been an honor for me. She's so incredible. She has program records of 15 career perfect 10s. So, gosh, I'm sure she's a valuable asset as a student coach for Utah this year.
9875 for Gilstrap. Here's McCallum.
Could see there on that last graphic, a Tokyo silver medalist with Team USA. Not only has had an incredible NCAA career, but an incredible elite career as well. Opens up with a really difficult full in, nice and controlled landing, chest is up. Another just stunning performer. Second combo pass, front through double tuck, perfectly landed. Grace does a really difficult double wolf turn there for some extra dance bonus. Stunning routine.
Grace McCallum finishing up. We are expecting an exhibition as well for Utah. So let's talk a bit more about this first rotation, Kaylin. I feel like all three teams have to be happy with what they saw.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, the biggest goal that each of these teams has was to keep on building from what's been going well each meet. You know, not really focusing on what's going wrong, but just building off of everything that's going right, focusing on the little deductions here, and just being present, enjoying this atmosphere. This is just so exciting today, and I'm really impressed with each of these teams on their first event.
Yeah, Grace McCallum there. You're taking a look at another angle of her forward teamer winning that score. That will be the final one. So waiting the score from McCallum, you see Florida has a slight lead. They're hoping to, Utah's hoping to drop the 9.675 from Winger. I expect they will. McCallum's score should easily eclipse that.
Definitely. You know, again, you just never know what to expect. Especially, that's another thing all of these coaches have talked about on our calls this week is controlling your controllables, right? You can't control what the judges are going to do with the scoring. It's kind of been up and down throughout the country over the past few weeks, but you know, control what you can control, really focus in and be mindful of what your gymnastics is, and then you know the rest kind of handles itself. So
West Virginia led in that first rotation by Journey Lane, and her debut in this event with a 9.775. Carly DiCello with a 9.775 as well. Florida getting a pair of 9.9s plus a 9.925 from Leanne Long. Utah with a very strong first rotation as well. Joined now by Utes head coach Carly Dockendorf. Coach, what do you see from that first rotation?
Yeah, I thought there was some really exceptional routines out there. Definitely some areas for us to pick up the energy and some of the details, but really nice start for our first rotation.
Carly, first time in the WVU Coliseum. I know you were really excited to get to know some new teams and new arenas. What do you think? How do you feel about the atmosphere here today?
I think it's exceptional. There's a lot of fans in here. There's good energy. It's fun having three teams in here. You can just kind of feel the momentum moving, you know, event to event. So really excited to be here.
What do you want to see out of this next rotation?
I just want to see them go and be really aggressive on their vaults. Not necessarily worry about the stick, but just go with confidence and just, you know, go for some big vaults.
Utah coach Carly Dockendorf, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
One rotation in the books here in Morgantown. Round, do it again for the rotation here at the WVU Coliseum. Stay with us on ESPN+. first rotation, West Virginia nearing its season best on vault, Taylor.
Yeah, really excited for Journey. Like I said, she's adding a bench, she's getting confident, and it showed off with her 9.775 for her first debut on vault.
Utah started on 4. They got a 9.925 on the back end from McCallum.
Absolutely. Not surprised from Grace there in the anchor lead up, or the anchor spot there, but definitely they need to look to pick up some 10s here on vault.
Florida, meanwhile, on an event that they're very good at on bars, they were able to get off to a strong start as well after Utah's performance on floor.
Yeah, really impressed with how precise Florida is on bars, excuse me. And I think they're just going to want to continue this momentum as they go into balance beam.
A couple 9.925s from Pilgrim and Wong for the Gators. 9.9s right behind them. Again, they dropped the 9.825 on that rotation. They are in first after the first rotation. Utah, though, right there at 0.15 behind. And again, you know, we use the word weakest lightly. That was their weakest rotation behind them now. So they have to feel confident that they're in a good position after one rotation to maybe catch up to Florida. Those two have battled throughout the years. The Nationals last year, it was Utah getting the slight edge, finishing third. Florida was fourth.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this Utah team on vault. They added historic Mike Hunger onto their staff this past year. He's a national team vault coach for many years. Carly said he's a really technical vault coach, but he's also really fun and passionate about gymnastics. So she said that they really trust in him and really are more confident on their vault. So I'm excited to see them here in the Coliseum.
Florida is #1 in the nation on beam. We're going to see a show there.
Yeah, absolutely. Florida has always been a rock on this event and just something they really look to with our athletes to really maximize their team score.
In past years, bars has kind of been a bugaboo for West Virginia. They've been better on this apparatus this year.
They have, yeah. I'm going to interrupt you for a moment to watch that vault in the top left corner there. What a good start for the Mountaineers. Or excuse me, for Utah on vault. Really, really clean vault. Takes a tiny step, but wow.
Ella Zerbis leading off for them. Mountaineers will begin with Brooke Albin like they did on vault. And the leadoff spot on beam for Florida belongs to Skylar Drazer.
Yeah, I do agree overall for West Virginia. Hasn't historically been the best bar team. I do think at Denver, their overall bar routines were way better. Ended up losing some 10s on dismounts. I really want to see them take a breath right here, be able to get in a good rhythm to end this routine on a really high note. So Brooke does a huge double layout, tiny slight scoot backwards, but Brooke has done a really, really incredible job as the leadoff on that event.
Yep, 9.8 season best this year, 9.875 her career best.
Skylar Drazer going into her dismount here, round off 1.5, gets the stick.
No hat for them, but that was really good.
You know, it was fun talking to Jason. We actually got to talk to him about the hat more specifically this past week, and he said everyone's kind of got their own thing, and we wanted to come up with something different. He said there was a couple of our girls who are normally pretty wild and have a good time, and they came up with it, so he's going with it.
Also said, and you can attest to this, that West Virginia is kind of known for being the team that does some gimmicky fun things, especially on the road.
You know, and that's important. That's something that every coach talks about is whatever works for each individual athlete, whether that's being crazy and wild, getting involved with the environment, or just kind of going off on your own and being a little bit more quiet. Whatever works for you as an athlete and whatever works for your whole team. So it's really fun to kind of see different teams do different things.
9.775 for Zerbis on vault for Utah, and Albin on bars for West Virginia leading off. Mountaineers will put Jaden McDonald in the second spot. Second vaulter for Utah's Grace McCallum.
Grace did another Yurchenko 1.5. That was beautiful for Utah.
Getting a 9.85 for it.
See Jaden doing another huge ray. Nice cast to handstand. Was a little short on the first cast to handstand. Back salto. Getting up for her double layout dismount here. And she gets it. Does take a little pike down. She struggled with that a little bit in warm-up, so I think that was a little bit of where her steps came at the end on that landing.
Just to the vault platform, we're gonna get our second Gator on bars, or excuse me, on beam. This is Sloan Blakely.
Sloan has a career high on balance beam of a 9.95. Does a really unique series there for an aerial back handspring. On that series, judges really want to see the arms keep flowing forward to be able to get the connection credit for it. Something that the judges are going to look for on beam is, again, that precision, but you want to see those 180 splits, undeniable connections on each of their skills, whether it's acro or dance series, to be able to get to that 10-0 start value.
Jalen Gilstrap will be the third vaulter for Utah. Mount Senior's third bar competitor will be Anna Lee. Dismount there.
A really beautiful gainer pull off the side there. I've never seen one quite go so high off the side of the beam, but wow.
By the way, the West Virginia swimming and diving team is here. They are standing at the one end in the Speedos. They have come out to join this capacity crowd here at the Coliseum.
That's the energy we need. This is Utah's McKenna Smith going fourth on vault with a 10-0. Yurchenko half on front pike off, really difficult. You don't see that a ton in the NCAA, but wow, she just nailed it.
Gilstrap had a 90 in front of her. Yeah, that was a really pretty vault to watch. Anna Lee up for West Virginia.
Doing a nice routine here. There's a straddle Jaeger to pack salto there. Need to take a breather again right before this dismount. Nice handstand there. To a double layout. Gets the stick, holds it there.
The plunger hat is going on.
The plunger hat.
And going off, and now back on.
Anna, the senior here, has been working so hard. You can see her knee. She's battled so many injuries throughout her career, but she has never given up. She's someone that Jason said the team looks to as just a leader in her pure work ethic. There's the swim and diving team right there, just doing their thing.
They are nearing their Big 12 championships in about a month. That'll also be on ESPN Plus, held in Seattle for the first time, showing how much this conference has expanded. That event's been here a couple times before. I'm sure Kyle Stockwell and Natalie Calabot will have a fantastic broadcast of that.
See Ashley Glynn, the junior for Utah, going on vault here with a huge Yurchenko 1.5. Does take that tiny step backwards. That's something the judges are going to look for on those 10-0 vaults that are landing forward. You're going to want to take that step forward. If they take a step backwards, it's a little bit more of a deduction, but overall beautiful pre-flight, very nice in the air.
Pilgrim on beam for Florida.
Anya doing a really beautiful front aerial. She is always so calm and collective. As just a sophomore on this team, she has been such a rock for this Florida roster.
9.75 the score for Lee on bars. Amber Lowe will be fourth for West Virginia. Meanwhile, McKenna Smith got a 9.95 for that vault.
See Amber Lowe going for West Virginia on the top right corner there. Does a really difficult pike Jaeger. Something I really want to see from Amber, just cleaning up those handstands. Sometimes she gets a little rushed right here before her dismount. So I really want to see her take her time to hit that handstand, which she nailed. Nice blind pull on top of the bar into double tuck, and gets the sticks.
She listened to you, and the rewards are there, right?
Hey, they say sticks are contagious. I don't make the rules. The plunger makes the rules.
Another look at that final move for Amber Lowe.
Really nice, clean blind full to double tuck. Gets that bonus combo there.
And she's got the plunger.
The sparkly West Virginia is new on this.
Yeah, I think so too. Victoria Wynn waiting her turn on beam for Florida.
Victoria is one of the graduate students here for Florida, has a career high of a 9.95 on this event. She's a 3-time NCAA All-American, 2-time U.S. national team member.
Yeah.
Something really unique I read on their website was that one of their articles, she just celebrated her 24th birthday. So I know one of the freshmen is only 16 years old. So really unique for such an age gap there. And Coach Jenny said you could never tell. You would never be able to tell. But what a cool thing to have the underclassmen kind of look to her as a mentor. You know, the coaches said there was never a doubt that we wanted her to come back, but we wanted her to kind of make that decision on her own. And she said that she knew how talented the underclassmen were coming in, the freshmen were coming in, and she really wanted to be a part of that. And she wanted to be a part of the continued success for the program. So.
And the hunger to win a national championship. This program has come so close the last couple of years.
They can do it. That's absolutely sure. Another graduate senior in your top right corner there for West Virginia. Trinity Macy's been a rock on this event for West Virginia. Does a nice double A and gets that another stick.
Pilgrim with a 9.875 for Florida. 9.8 the vault for Ashley Glenn, by the way, in that 5th position for Utah.
Really beautiful routine going for Victoria here. Did another front aerial back handspring for her series on beam. Switch lead split jump. There's a little bit of a balance check there, but beautiful 180 split. Something the judges will look for on the beam.
Amelie Morgan with a 9.825 to close out another strong rotation for Utah.
Dismount for Victoria here. Does a back handspring 1.5, a little bit of kind of some cross legs takes that step, so a little bit of deductions there, but overall, Florida on beam has been really doing well through their lineup.
(9.8) the score shown for West Virginia and Trinity Macy, and Mountaineers will send their final gymnast up in the bars. Another big opportunity for Journey Lane, her first bars routine of the year.
This is another event that Journey has been working in and out of. It's not her strongest event mentally. She really has to challenge herself on this event to really trust herself and be confident. So really good combination of a Jaeger into that immediate shoot over. Does a beautiful double A, does take that little bit of a sizable hop, but again, like on vault, she has not had a ton of competition experience on these events, so it's kind of those first time nerves, but wow, as a sophomore, she's already maybe doing all around here today. She wasn't originally supposed to be in the bar lineup, and you know, sometimes you just got to take that energy and roll with it. It's really important for the coaches, the team, and the athletes.
And she is. She has entered in all 4 categories for now. We'll see if she does all 4. So that would be a first for her doing the all-around. And we've heard before from Jason Butts what a competitor she is. This is the competition of competitions. 2 and 4 in the nation in here. Time to see what you have.
You know, there's something to say about, instead of shying away from, oh my gosh, these top-ranked teams are coming in, they kind of have to level up to that energy, right? So we talked a lot with all the coaches about how much the NCAA gymnastics has improved, and just overall the competitiveness has improved so much over the past few years. And all of them said, like we said, that pressure is a privilege, and to remain on the top, to get to the top, you have to continue to be the best and beat the best. So I think having these teams here in the Coliseum and West Virginia being able to see just that they're just right there with them is really exciting. So Leanne Wong up on beam right now for the Gators.
Goes without saying, another event that she's really good in. She has a 10 in her career and a 9.95 this year on this event.
She's just such a composed competitor. She's a 6-time U.S. national team member. She was an alternate for the Tokyo and Paris Olympics, so she just does not stop.
And then ended up going to Paris. Getting a silver medal. Team member for Team USA.
Another look at her dismount here. Does a really difficult gainer full off the end. Does take that little hop.
Exhibition coming on bars for West Virginia. See the crowd getting into it here at the Coliseum. Getting interested to see that attendance number. Very well could see a program record or at least a single standalone meet record here for West Virginia here at the Coliseum.
It's really exciting in here today. See each of these coaches really having a good time. Kaylin Steele going for West Virginia as the exhibition on bars. There's a massive double layout, takes a tiny hop. For a tiny little gymnast, she's got some massive skills on every event.
Yeah, listed at 5 foot. That might be a little bit generous. West Virginia coach Jason Butts getting ready to join us here after the Mountaineers After the Mountaineers finish up this rotation here with the exhibition. Also, we'll have one more competitor on beam for Florida, Selena Harris Miranda. Mountaineers will drop the 9.525 for Journey Lane. Utah will get rid of the 9.775 for Zerbis. Wong with a 9.9 on beam for Florida.
Selena getting ready for her series here. Stunning triple series, back handspring, layout, step out, back handspring. Taking her time through this routine. Switch leap, split jump for her leap combination there. See Coach Jenny having fun, just really relaxed. You can tell how confident she is in each of her athletes on this event. Something she's worked really hard on. Does a beautiful, really high front toss. Unfortunately, you can see her feet on the side of the beam a little bit. Does take that sizable deduction.
Really the first bobble we've seen from any team in this event today. Very clean gymnastics.
All she has to do is really hone in and get this stick on this dismount to pick up some couple extra tens. I think she tried a little too hard to stick that one, was a bit under-rotated, didn't quite get the rotation she needed, takes that step backwards, but.
So Selena Harris Miranda will close out this second rotation, excuse me. West Virginia head coach Jason Butts joining us now. Halfway through, what do you make of your team's performance?
So far, so good. You know, we put up, let's see, 14 routines, and they've all hit, you know, and of course, always happy to see the exhibition routines hit as well. It's good practice for them, but I've been loving our energy. We started off great with a stuck Yurchenko full from Brooke Albin to lead off the meet, and that's kind of set the tone for us, so we're doing great so far.
Jason, we've been talking a lot about Journey Lane and just how well she's been doing training-wise. She's already been on 2 events that she hasn't been on, doing all around here today potentially. What do you make of that, and what are you most excited to see from her?
You know, that was the first time she's competed vault in 3 years. You know, so for her to do that is, I mean, absolutely, it's monumental accomplishment for her. She's been working so hard in the gym, and she just shows up every day. She works so hard. You know, she's not she does not like drama. She just comes in. She has a great attitude. She has a great sense of humor, and so we get along great, but really I'm just happy to see everything paying off for her and all of her hard work, and so far so good.
Coach, before we let you go, how about this atmosphere? How fun is it to compete in this atmosphere?
Oh my gosh, you know, it's this is one of the biggest crowds I think we've had in here, especially just for gymnastics. The energy is amazing. I mean, I'm looking around, I saw the swim team is here, the men's swim team up there in their Speedos, and they were, you know, feeding us a ton of energy during bars. And no, I just appreciate everybody coming out, the fans, and wow, yeah, I mean, this is just a lot of fun, and I'm thrilled for, you know, the Mountaineer fans to be able to see incredible gymnastics and experience something like this.
West Virginia coach Jason Butts, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
We have completed 2 rotations here at the Coliseum. Some fantastic gymnastics. The race for first is still very much up for grabs between West Virginia, Florida, and Utah. Coming back with the 3rd rotation after this on ESPN+. West Virginia posting a 48.675 in the second rotation on bars, Caitlin.
I think really important that West Virginia went 6 for 6 on this event. Still have some things to clean up. Unfortunately, we lost some athletes on this event due to some injuries, so some of these girls had to step up, and they really got the job done today.
Yeah, Journey Lane competing for the first time in this event, putting up an excellent score. You heard from Jason Butts, who's very happy. Utah as well, just keep doing what they're doing. An excellent vault rotation for them.
You can see that stunning 10-0 vault that McKenna Smith did right there. Gets the stuck landing, is definitely the highlight of that rotation. Still, definitely, even in those 10-0 vaults, want to be able to stick some of those landings for Utah.
Yeah, put up a 9.95 with her score there. And then Florida and Beam, the best in the nation.
Definitely still obviously amazed of Florida on this event. Definitely for them, still had some uncharacteristic wobbles and things that they need to really focus in on. But again, all of these teams went 6 for 6 on each of these events.
Third rotation coming up here from the Coliseum. We'll see Utah on bars, West Virginia on beam, Florida on floor. Utah second in the nation on bars. Florida 13th in the country on floor. Mountaineers have had some issues on beam. Their last time here, especially at home, did much better against Denver. Speaking of Denver, they won that opener against West Virginia in the Big 12. They're continuing their run of success there. And then some newbies. Utah up to 4th in the nation. We've talked about them all day. Arizona has been a pleasant surprise this year in the conference.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see just kind of the realignment of all of the conferences this year for NCAA gymnastics. It's been a lot on these teams to kind of travel, but they're all still doing really, really well. So it's just unfortunately a part of the job, and they're all getting the job done. So it's been really fun to see.
Big 12 rookie honors there, and it's nice to see a spread as well. It was a lot of Oklahoma in past years, a lot of Denver, 3 different schools displayed this week.
Yeah, like I said, I've just really been impressed with the overall competitiveness of the Big 12 with adding some teams in. It makes it a little bit more fun, a little bit more exciting. And like I said, everyone comes to the clean slate. You never know what's going to happen on that conference championship day.
And I see this conference expand to, it was 4 teams for so long. Now we're up to 7. A lot of fun for the conference championships and a chance to really test herself against some of the elite teams in the country as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important for all these teams to, like we mentioned earlier, it's just if you want to be the best, you have to compete with the best. So it's been really fun to see just NCAA gymnastics improve so much over the years, and not only improve in the quality of gymnastics, but improve in the viewership of gymnastics. It's getting really exciting. I think NCAA gymnastics, you know, being on TV more and just getting more exposure has been something that all of these coaches really have wanted to see. And it's been exciting for all of us to watch the sport grow so much.
These 2 that have come in today, Utah and Florida, have really been among the blue bloods of this sport. Utah celebrating its 50th year. They've been nationals every year but one of those 49 years leading into this year.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I talked to Coach Carly about that, and I was like, what does this year mean to you? What have you kind of brought to the team to be able to honor the legacy that Utah has been? And she was like, we just talk about how much of an honor and a privilege it is to be a part of such an incredible program, and just, you know, being able to take in everything that we've been a part of. And she says, leave your Leo better than you found it. She says, we just want to continue to carry on the legacy that was built before us and pave the way for future athletes. So really, she's just really honored to be a part of it, and so is this whole team.
Yeah, 34-10 against a ridiculous schedule over the last year and a half since she's taken this job. Florida, same thing. We talked about it in the Open. 4 consecutive team finals. They've made 40 NCAA appearances. The one at the bottom is the one that blows my mind. In the toughest conference, maybe in any sport in the country, they've won the last 6 regular season titles in the SEC.
It is amazing, and we got to talk to Coach Denny about just the overall competitiveness of the SEC. And again, she said, pressure's a privilege. We're so honored to be at the top, but we can't get off our game. Every week in the SEC is you have to be on your A game. You have to maximize. And that being said, there's 9 of the SEC teams ranked in the top 15 right now. That is incredible. So just really exciting to see just the SEC, and just like I mentioned before, all of the NCAA conferences in gymnastics just really, really up in the ante.
Yeah, there's going to be a top 15 team in the nation that's going to miss their conference championships, which is insane to think about. West Virginia, no slouch either. 43 NCAA regional appearances, a roster that's really had to rebuild this year with youth and with gymnasts coming back from injuries. They're heading in the right direction.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it is unfortunate that the last few years they haven't qualified to NCAA postseason, to regionals, but, you know, like I said, they were dealing with some major injuries last year, not just kind of tweaks here and there, but some major ACL and Achilles injuries. So unfortunately a part of the sport, but they've really had to rely on their underclassmen to step up. We talked to Jason about last week at Denver. He said, I looked around and more than half the routines were new routines, whether that's new to college or just new after coming off of major injuries. So that speaks a lot for the the confidence they have right now, but as they continue to build through season, I actually got to watch practice a little bit on Friday, and they're getting there. They're a talented team. They just have to really trust themselves and be able to be confident and put it all together.
We were just talking about the youth of this lineup. How about that? 1 senior, 1 freshman, 4 sophomores on beam for the Mountaineers.
This event for West Virginia really has not done well over the past few weeks, but they really do have so much depth, and I think Coach Jess right there has been trying to figure out what works for them. You know, Anna, just competing beam for the first time last week, is in the first position in the lineup spot, and she seems to be doing really well. So I think each week they're trying to figure it out and see who's going to step up and get the job done.
We've begun the action on the floor for Florida. This is Victoria Wen.
Just an absolutely stunning gymnast on this event. Just intense from every part of her routine.
Her best of a 9.925, has a 9.9 as her best this year.
Opens up with a front double full twist stag jump. Anna Lee on beam doing a can't swing layout step out, does take that slight wobble.
The final preparations on bars for Utah. McKenna Smith will lead off for them.
All of these routines going really nicely. Fortunate on the last pass on floor, wasn't able to quite get that 1.5 front layout around, but beautiful routine going for McKenna on bars. Really unique. Toe front in a pike position, half off. Takes that slight hop forward. Anna Lee ending her routine as well for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I look from left to right. It's a lot of high fives as everybody finishes at about the same time.
That's what's so fun about NCAA gymnastics, and I know these fans are excited to be here today, but it's chaotic, but it's really fun, and it's loud, and I don't think that the crowd understands how much that their energy really helps these athletes. So
another look at McKenna Smith's routine on bars.
you can see just doesn't quite get the snap off the bar she needed to rotate enough, but takes that little step forward, but on the bar was a really, really beautiful routine.
Gets a 9.625 despite that little bit of a bobble on the landing, does Smith. Carly DiCello waiting to go second on beam for West Virginia. And we talked earlier how neat this has to be to have your parents here and have both daughters be represented on these teams, although, of course, the Florida DiCello is not able to compete today.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Kayla, but I know that I got to talk to her earlier today. She's so excited to get to be here for Carly. She was like, we haven't competed in this close of a proximity for a really long time, you know, probably since club gymnastics, and they're both, you know, at a high level, doing gymnastics at a high level. They also have a younger sister who does gymnastics as well. So very athletic family, definitely all very supportive. And Kayla's just really excited to be here to support Carly today. And, you know, Jason said Carly's one of the dark horses of the team, you know, just a freshman on this team, but she's really coming into her own and just figuring out what works for her. And she's adding events each week as well, so.
Really good article on Kayla DiCello on the Olympics website this week if you want to read how her recovery is progressing.
Pilgrim with her first pass on floor, really unique, round off 1.5 to a double full for an indirect combo pass.
Anna Padureriu on bars for Utah. Wynn got his 9.65 on floor, winning off for Florida.
Really beautiful routine going for Anna. She's also a UCLA transfer, so her and Selena from Florida were actually teammates there, but really good routine for her. Her career high is a 9.95. She's a Canadian national team member, so again, another valuable member of this Utah team who has a ton of experience.
DiCello able to save that on beam.
Really difficult handspring layout, step out. Shows just her athleticism and how strong she is on this event. She really was off on that and stayed on the beam, so really important for her confidence. Does a round off 1.5 dismount, does take that little step backwards.
Has to feel good to do that after she struggled with that dismount the last home meet here 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely. Jason said last week when she did complete the routine, she said, well, I did it, you know, so really cool, calm demeanor. She's just working so hard, and, you know, she's going to have a great career for West Virginia.
They bumped up Smith's score, by the way, to 9.75 on bars.
A replay of that first pass for Anya. A little bit of form deductions in her legs on both of those passes. Did take a little step forward on her last pass as well, so.
Final preparations for Utah on bars. See Ashley Glenn after the 9.85 score for Paul WVU.
This is one of the events that Ashley Glenn has really worked hard to get into the lineup. She actually had her debut a few weeks ago on this event and scored her career high of a 9.9. So you can really tell that she's worked really hard, and not only just to get in the lineups, but to do well in the lineup.
We talked about the cellos, Glenn from Delaware, so a little bit of an easier trip for her family than going all the way out to Utah. Journey Lane up next on beam from West Virginia.
It's a really beautiful stalder and to double tuck dismount. Just take that little step forward. Beautiful routine though.
(9.7) the 4 score for Pilgrim. So Florida off to a bit of a slow start on 4, a 9.65 and a 9.7.
Journey doing an excellent job so far on beam here. I really like how aggressive she's being. Serious here. Back handspring layout, step out. Again, she just looks confident. First pass for Florida there, double layout. A little bit under-rotated. Seems like they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves on their passes here. Journey's dismount, round off 1.5 dismount, or excuse me, a back handspring 1.5 dismount to a stuck landing. Wow, 2 weeks in a row, first 2 routines out for Journey this year on beam, and she nailed both of them.
If West Virginia can find an all-rounder, I think that's going to solve a lot of their problems in the lineup.
Yeah, it's been tough to, you know, again, battling some injuries that is a part of the sport, but you got to find those athletes who are willing to step up, and Journey really has been one of those.
9.825 the score for Glenn. See Morgan next on bars for Utah. Taylor Clark competing on 4 for Florida.
Taylor Clark, just a freshman on this Florida gymnastics team, was a 4-star recruit. Specializes really on vault and floor, so exciting to see her in the lineup already as a freshman for this Florida team.
Had a 9.9 against Georgia last time out for the Gators.
Really beautiful and unique pack pull on bars for Utah. Really difficult skill. What a very unique routine for Utah. I love seeing, sometimes in college, a lot of the times you're seeing some routines that kind of are the same, you know, a little bit monotonous, but to see kind of some uniqueness and differences in routines is really fun for the audience as well, and she really nailed that.
Amelie Morgan, how much does that help your judging, your scoring, to do something that they don't see very often?
You know, I don't know for sure because I'm not one of the judges, but it would seem like if you're seeing the same thing over and over again, you would be a little bored too. So kind of wakes you up a little bit and get you out of your mindset a little bit just to kind of see something different. So
Amber Lowen beam from West Virginia after the 9.8 on 4 shown for Clark. Swan Blakely in the 4th position for the Gators, awaiting her turn.
Amber doing a different series. She has changed up her routine a little bit to kind of work on her confidence, and she does back handspring layout step out into a side aerial beat jump there. That's something Jason really talked about with this team is, you know, as much as they've had to step up and fill some roles for unexpected injuries, they've been really, really open and willing to changing their routines to figure out what works for them. So I think that's really important for this team, especially with them being so young. Ends with a round off 1.5. Does take that tiny hop. I don't know if I'd give her the stick there.
By the way,
they'll give her the plunger anyways.
By the way, the 9.825 returning landing is a career best on beam for West Virginia.
You can see Sloan Blakely here. You can always tell when someone's an upperclassman just by the way they perform. It's something you really learn just to really embrace the choreography and put more of a show on for your team and for the crowd. So she's really taking advantage of it.
9.875 from Morgan on bars. This is Zerbis dismounting.
That's a really nice full in, a little bit under rotated. All of these teams just a little bit excited to get off the equipment, not really honing in to really get that stick, but beautiful last pass for Sloan on floor there. 1.5 front full. One of my favorite passes in the NCAA. And ends with the Gator chomp.
Going right at the Florida fans seated to our right. They have brought quite a contingent from the Gainesville area and other places in the country to Morgantown, and they love that routine.
I thought I heard some roaring behind me. Yeah. I wasn't quite ready for it.
Makes the sport fun too when you have home and away fans cheering, rooting for their team, rooting for the other team. 9.875, the score on bars for Zerbis. 9.75, the score for Amber Lowell on beam for West Virginia.
Julia Brown up for the Mountaineers on beam. Has moved back in the lineup a bit. Started the year off as the leadoff. Does a difficult triple series, back handspring, out, step out. Tiny bit of a wobble. This is one event that Julia is just super confident on. It's her favorite event. She works really, really hard on this event to just make sure she maximizes herself. You can tell in her confidence and just her overall demeanor on this event.
You can see Florida's ahead by a hair in the team scores. That's going to go down to the final rotation.
It's a really nice round off double full, gets the stick. I tell you what, that girl can stick this every time. I actually like pushing her back in the lineup just to see how her score will go, not being first. But wow, Julia has done her job every single week, so good for her.
9.95, the score for Blakely on floor for Florida.
You can see on the bottom, Grace McCallum is a stunning bar worker. She's gone 9.975 multiple times already this year, just 5 weeks in.
By the way, she's got an Olympic medal in this event.
She's all right on bars. Does a huge full in dismount. Does take a slight hop, but wow.
One Olympian to another. Leanne going with long on floor.
Leanne's another one that, you know, has had such an iconic gymnastics career between elite and college gymnastics. She's another one that has really just maximized herself in everything she's doing, not only as an athlete, but she leads a small business. She's taking a full course load. Coach Jenny said that she's just somebody that she personally admires so much, and is just a wonderful, wonderful human being. Again, super humble and just grateful for the opportunity, and I know that the Gator Nation is really grateful to have her on their team.
Yeah, you learn time management as an athlete, but that's ridiculous, the amount of things that she juggles.
And she's always trying to do more, which is just incredible. You would think competing, she's basically competed year-round for 4 years, through elite, through the Summer Olympics, and she's just still enjoying every moment and maximizing herself. It's really incredible to watch.
Season best for Julia Brown on beam, 9.85, just a hair off the 9.875. That's her career best. Mountaineers will finish this rotation with Adams.
Kaylee Adams, sophomore on this team, but she has been battling injuries as well. She is stunning on this event. You can tell through everything she does, just beautiful. I got to talk to her earlier today. I said, how much do you love beam? She's like, I love beam. And I was like, great, go do it how you know how to do it. Have fun with it. So she's one that just has the beam look, we like to say, in college gymnastics.
And even without the score, the Mountaineers already had their season best on beam.
Some people just got it. And again, that's something Jason's been talking about, is we've just are a little late to figuring out what works and just getting their confidence there. But you're seeing it in each of these beam routines a little bit at a time, really building off the good that they've been doing. And you can see that today. This is the best beam rotation I've seen the Mountaineers do all season. Really exciting.
9.925 for Wong on 4 in that 5th spot. And we'll see Selena Harris Miranda push things out on the floor for the Gators.
Dismount there. What a beautiful routine for Kaylee. Really excited to see just her continue to grow, push through injuries, and not set limits on herself as well. So,
do we keep just adding elements to the plunger hat as the season goes on? We got the sparkly WV. Now we have another side to fill.
That's a good idea. We'll have to mention that to them.
Gators started slow on this rotation. They'll come back with a bang, a 9.8, a 9.95, and a 9.925.
Selena opening up with a front through double tuck combo pass there. Ends a little bit low, but she's able to pop up and really hit that lunge. I think that's important. You know, the judges don't know what your routine is. If you can kind of fake it till you make it, for lack of better words, and just stick with it and play it off with some dance and some, you know, fun faces choreography, sometimes the judges will forget. Really coming into her own, Selena, with this Gators gymnastics team. Really feeling like she's found a home that she's comfortable with, and really looking forward to her career as a Gator.
Yeah, hit the portal and immediately reached out to Florida and said, I want to come here.
Jenny said it was really unexpected. She said it happened so quickly, and they wanted to bring her on and make sure it really was a fit for her and that she felt comfortable, and she seems to look pretty comfortable out there today. So,
finishing up her routine, Mountaineers have an exhibition on the beam right now. So you talked about Utah, second in the nation on bars. They dropped the 9.75. Every score has been better than that. And again, when McKenna Smith's your weakest gymnast in an event, that says something about the strength of your event.
Let's see the finish of Selena's routine there.
Mountaineers will drop the 9.7 for Anna Lee. Florida trying to drop the 9.65 for win. They should. Harris Miranda with the solid scores. The Mountaineers finish up this exhibition on beam.
Really impressive rotation, and you can see kind of those 9-8 ranges that we want to see all of these teams be in. Again, some mistakes from all of the teams, but those are things you really just have to work on as season goes through.
Adams with the 9.85 following Brown's 9.85 for West Virginia. So Mountaineers put up a 49 even on beam, an excellent rotation for them. Final score being shown for Harris Miranda. It is a 9.925 as well for the Florida anchor.
And that's exactly what you want to see from all of your lineups moving forward. You know, mistakes are a part of sport. They're welcomed. You know, you're never going to be perfect all the time, but to have teammates to back you up like the rest of this lineup did for the first two on Florida's team is really important and really incredible, and that's what they're there for. They know that they back each other up, and they know they support each other. So,
exhibition on floor to close out this third rotation.
Another difficult wolf double turn. Beautiful first pass. Just such precision in her leaps there, and just beautiful style.
Lee Boy doing the exhibition. Gymnast that came in at the semester break, so she's not been in Florida's program that long, but again, another one of these high-level elite gymnasts that have come to the Gators program. Love the split screen there. By the way, love the sweater today for Ginny Rowland. Love the Gator logo.
It's really incredible to watch all of these elite athletes and how they transition into college gymnastics. I talked to both Utah with Carly and Jenny at Florida, and just you know, how do you get them to kind of relax and have fun in more of the college atmosphere? And she just said, honestly, it's just a direct result of the culture that we've created. We want them to come in and feel comfortable, to be able to voice their opinion about what works for them and what doesn't. And these elites have so many tricks to choose from. It's really, really exciting for them to just narrow it down of what they're going to be most comfortable with and what they're going to maximize as college athletes. So she said it's really, really fun to just watch them kind of blossom into collegiate gymnastics.
Man, that was a good rotation. 49-3 for Utah, 49-3 for Florida, 49 even for West Virginia.
Really, really great rotation. I think everyone's going to be super happy with what they're seeing from their teams and, you know, to be able to build into the fourth rotation here in the Coliseum.
Waiting to see if we're going to have Florida coach Jenny Rowland join us between the third and fourth rotations. Let's talk a little bit more kind of the bigger picture of this sport. We've talked throughout our broadcast about how this sport has exploded and grown. I think you look and say, now that athletes can be paid, that was something that really affected gymnastics maybe more than any other sport.
Yeah, I think they're still trying to figure some things out, right? I think the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway is for years we've been trying to get more gymnastics, NCAA gymnastics exposure, and I think we're really doing that. It's really exciting to see. I think there's still a long way to go with NIL and things of that nature and revenue sharing. I'm not sure where that's going to all end up. I know that's still being worked out by the NCAA in general, but like I said, the overall exposure of gymnastics has been really, really exciting.
Florida head coach Jenny Rowland getting ready to join us right now. Coach, thanks for joining us very much.
So glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
3 rotations. What do you take away from your team's performance so far?
Really proud of this team. We started on bars last away meet. We started off a little slow and extremely proud to see how confident and how aggressive this team started off on our first event. So great momentum to build off of and doing pretty good so far.
Jenny, it's been a long time since y'all have competed in the Coliseum. What do you think of just the overall atmosphere here and just how is that really affecting your team and being excited about it?
No, the atmosphere has been great. The music's been awesome. The fans have been very encouraging of everybody. They love good gymnastics, so it's amazing to see. Love the swim team here also, so really, really glad that everybody came to support.
What do you want to see in this fourth rotation to close things out?
Really just some calmness and some nice duck landings like we've been practicing in the gym.
Jenny Rowland, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Go Gators.
Thank you, Jenny.
All right, one more rotation to go. Things still up in the air between West Virginia, Utah, and Florida. We'll settle things here at the Coliseum after this on ESPN+. Third rotation, great for all 3 schools. West Virginia with a season high easily with a 49 even on beam.
I definitely think West Virginia is going to be proud of this rotation. I think they're finally coming up with routines that work for each athlete, and you're seeing it in their confidence. They're really starting to maximize. It's really exciting for them.
Utah, meanwhile, all they did was throw up a 49-3 on bars.
I do think a little bit of uncharacteristic mistakes for Utah in this event, especially dismounts, just being a little rushed. You can see right here, just kind of taking some steps that they don't normally do, but overall, obviously, a great bar routine.
Yeah, second best in the nation entering competition. And then Florida on floor, 13th in the nation. They should move up a little bit after a really strong finish.
Yeah, I think what they're going to be most proud of is the finish they had for sure. You know, starting off a little bit kind of lack in the first couple routines, but ending strong with some 9-9s for this rotation. I'm excited to see what they can put out on vault.
Speaking of ending strong, as you look at the all-around standings, Leanne Wong with a slight edge over Sloane Blakely, Grace McCowell, McKenna Smith right there. Journey Lane doing it for the first time. That's significant for West Virginia.
It's just important that she's up there with these athletes. You know, a lot of these athletes have competed together for a long time, not only through their elite careers, but through NCAA. So, again, really excited to see just the level of gymnastics increasing, and you can see that with all these all-arounders we have here today.
You mentioned finishing strong. All 3 of these teams have complete confidence in this event. It's West Virginia's best event traditionally. That's been the case this year as well. Florida is the best vaulting team in the nation, as you see here. And Utah is 3rd best in the nation on beam. So all 3 of these teams have to feel good about what they just did and what they're about to do.
Yeah, definitely. I really want to see them just kind of let loose, not even really focus too hard on sticking, but just letting loose, having fun, enjoying the last bit of this atmosphere we have in the Coliseum, because, wow, it's electric. So I know I'm excited for this rotation, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see how it ends up.
You see the leadout spots. Pilgrim on vault for Florida. We'll see Paul Dereriu lean off on beam for Utah. Brooke Albin in that leadoff spot once again for West Virginia on another event on 4. Off goes Pilgrim.
Florida starts off the rotation with beautiful 1.5 vault. Looked like she was almost about to stick it, kind of got tripped up a little ahead of herself, but overall, incredible vault throughout the air, really, really clean.
Career best of a 9.95, had a 9.925 earlier this year as well.
You can see she almost kind of stuck it right there. It does take that step, but overall good start for Florida.
Paul Gerariu, the Whitby, Ontario native, season best of a 9.875 on beam, 9.95 her career.
She was actually the leadoff on this event as a freshman through her time at UCLA, which is really impressive as a freshman to be a leadoff. It's such an important position on all events, but especially on beam, to be able to have the confidence in her that they've had throughout her entire career. So her as a senior this year, or excuse me, a junior, being able to kind of remain in that position, it's something that she really, really takes pride in. Stunning series front aerial back handspring.
Second vault for Florida, coming from Lee Boy.
Another beautiful Yurchenko 1.5, very clean. I love the precision of these vaults all the way through pre-flight in the air. A little bit of a deduction again on the landing, but these vaults do start from a 10.0. Not to say they have a little bit more leeway to make mistakes, but they do start at a 10.0, where the Yurchenko fools do start at a 9.95.
And Brooke Albin gets West Virginia going on 4.
Really just want to see Brooke let loose on this event. She's really been a rock for this team. First time she's going first, so really want to see if she can get a good score to start the Mountaineers off to build off of through this rotation.
Paul Gerariu with a huge reaction after her dismount, after she stuck that dismount. We can give that from the first spot. That really sets the tone.
Absolutely. Brooks combination pass there. Really nice and controlled. Front layout to front full there, having some fun with her dance. That's something Brooke has really, really worked hard on. She said, I'm not naturally somebody that likes to go out and dance, but I'm actually starting to have fun with my routine this year as a senior.
Meanwhile, Lee Boy putting up a 9.925 on vault for the second straight week, and then a fall on the landing from Sloan Blakely.
A little bit of an uncharacteristic. It looks like she kind of got lost in the air. Supposed to do a Yurchenko 1.5, but ended up only doing a half there.
Glad to see that she's okay. Smile there from her, but not the performance she wanted, but it happens.
Brooke ending on floor with her last pass. Huge double tuck. Exactly what the Mountaineers wanted to see from their leadoff position in the senior. Wow.
The plunger is being arranged. It will be placed on the head of Brooke Albin. 9.925 is going to be the score on beam for Utah and Paul Gerariu.
Beautiful dismount there. Wow, to start off your event with a 9.925. I talked a lot about the success of balance beam with Carly, and just they've historically been in the top teams in the nation on this event, putting up ginormous numbers. I asked her kind of like, what's the thought process behind getting them so confident on this event? And she said, honestly, I focus the most on every event, but mostly this one on them being confident as human beings. I try to build them up to feel strong and confident as people. The more confident they are through life and through everything they do on a day-to-day basis, they're more confident they are on the beam, where they have no room for doubt, no second guessing. So it's really worked out for them, I would say.
Wong's vault.
Beautiful, another unique vault. Really difficult, half on, front half off of the table. Really got Florida back on track. If you're gonna need someone to get back on track, it's Leanne Wong.
Kami Linger's got a 9.95 on beam this year. She's competing right now for Utah. And in the second spot, going for West Virginia, look at Taylor Toohey.
Taylor starts this routine with a beautiful front double full. She's one that did exhibition a few times this year, but finally making her way into that lineup, showing the hard work that she's been doing. Another one that has changed her routine around and been really, really kind of enjoying the process of doing that. Switched to leap there, did a switch side to a half decompensation leap to be able to pick some extra 10s.
9.925 the score for Wong's vault, and another strong beam routine from the Utes and Winger.
We knew this event would be a little intense with all of these teams ending on their best event, so really exciting to hear the buzz of that going on right now in the Coliseum.
Ferris vaulting for Florida.
Does another Yurchenko 1.5. Showing their difficulty with having all 10 vaults in the lineup so far.
All eyes now on Tui as she continues her floor routine for West Virginia.
Really taking a breath before her last pass here. It's a beautiful routine going. She's another one of those athletes that's just a naturally stunning dancer. I think as she progresses through her career, she's really gonna be good at this event. Does a really nice 1.5 front layout. You can hear the swim team yelling, Taylor, chanting Taylor. How exciting.
Brooke Albin had a 9.825 in front of her. Another look at the vault for Florida and Ferris, the 9.825.
Does a really beautiful job. Anticipates that landing a little bit, starts to bend her knees just a little too soon. But keeping the momentum rolling for the Red Rocks there on balance beam with another stuck dismount.
Harris Miranda closes out the rotation for Florida. Oh.
And does a beautifully stuck Yurchenko 1.5.
She's been chasing that 10 this year, has a 9.95 last time out against Georgia, does have a 10 for her career in this event.
Just an absolute exclamation point for Florida on that last event over there. Wow.
9.9 on beam for Winger. This is McKenna Smith. .9.825 the score for Ferris in front of Harris Miranda. 9.75 the score for West Virginia and Tui in her competitive debut on the event. Annalee up third for West Virginia.
Beautiful handspring layout step out for McKenna in the bottom box there on balance beam. Something that Coach Carly really talked about is just how authentic McKenna is. I kind of asked, like, how has she been so successful as a junior on this team? And she said, just by her authenticity, who you see is who you're going to get. She inspires all of her team, especially the young girls, to really embrace their unique self and just go out there and have fun. And I think it's really working for her to just go out there, be herself, and that's really helping her be successful. So ends with a gainer pike off the end, perfectly stuck. Wow.
We have the attendance. It's 2,798. That's the 8th best crowd in Coliseum history for a gymnastics meet. So excellent, excellent atmosphere, and the numbers back that up.
Well, Anna has a beautiful routine going for those 2,000 in the crowd tonight. You can see she's really getting focused for her last pass. Had a little bit of a mishap on this last week, so really want to see her just zone in and do what she's able to do here. And she's able to nail it. Beautiful combo pass to end the routine. Rudy layout step out.
Mountaineers gymnasts on the floor, the Mountaineer swimmers in the stands, loving that routine.
There's something to say about, you know, having a mistake on something you not normally do. She was like, I don't know what happened to me last week when I talked to her earlier this week at practice, and right there is where she made the mistake, and I don't see anything there. So that'll be really, really great for her confidence moving forward on this event.
Harris Miranda gets a 9.9 to close out the rotation for Florida. So they are in the books. Gators put up a 49.4 on vault. They will close at 197.575.
I see a 9.95 flashed over here. I'm not sure what the other judge gave for that floor routine, but
we are about to find out what the score is for Annalee. We did post a 9.95 earlier this year on January the 12th, and 9.925 today.
That's exactly what the Mountaineers want to see, just building this momentum on the last event. We always love a good floor party in the Coliseum.
Meanwhile, on beam, Amelie Morgan.
Amelie is another one who was part of the 2020 Great Britain Olympic team. So you can see just the resumes that all of these athletes have. I was reading up on each of these athletes for all of these teams and just seeing how amazing they've been throughout their careers. She was 32 for 32 as a freshman. That's pretty incredible to see stats like that coming out your first year in college.
Journey Lane completing her first ever collegiate all-around on floor.
Nice leap combination for Journey. Opened up with a Rudy layout step out to punch. Beautiful beam routine for Amelie going for Utah. Really unique front gainer, full dismount to a stuck landing. Journey's last pass. Really difficult front double full for her two-pass routine. I'm just gonna kind of let this finish out for her all-around debut here. Wow.
I think this is the day you circle for West Virginia and say maybe this is where things really start to go in the right direction. You can certainly say that for Journey Lane, competing in the all-around for the first time.
Yeah, just a really beautiful front double full. She's actually working a front double full punch front to up her difficulty on this routine. So that just shows just the work ethic she has and how much she's dedicating to this team to be her best for her teammates. And wow, she's just, as a sophomore, already having an incredible career. And we're just going to continue to see her confidence grow. So really proud of Journey for her debut all-arounds today.
Morgan puts up a 9.9 on beam for Florida, and we'll see Grace McCallum for the final time for the Utes.
You can see, talking to Grace McCallum, is Jaden Rucker. Unfortunately, as a sixth-year graduate student here for Utah, so she's obviously been such a staple for this team as well. Had an unfortunate injury this fall and is unable to compete, but you can still see she's obviously very well active with her team still and just being the best supporter and role model she can be for them. See those really difficult wolf turns. She does two of them there, one triple, one double.
And again, to do that on a surface the width of a cell phone.
It looks easy. I've tried one on my floor, and it's really not easy. So if you're at home watching, go ahead and try one and let us know how it goes. Beautiful back handspring layout. Grace has a career high of a 9.975, so just shy of that 10-0 mark on this event. Just a tiny bit ahead of herself on dance, but covers it up nicely. There's a really cool trick she does on floor there. Kind of a staple for her. And the iconic U there. Getting ready for dismount. Chanko tuck, or excuse me, gainer tuck full off the ends. Nails it.
Still waiting the score for Journey Lane as we take another look at McCallum's routine.
Really nice. You can see how well she lands with her chest up. Just knows exactly what she's doing every time.
This is going to be a really close finish. I think Utah might have enough to pass Florida. Just doing my back of the napkin math. We'll see.
It's always so exciting with these teams. You know, both of these coaches, all of these coaches really talked about just how exciting the atmosphere is. You never know what you're going to get on meet day. So you just go through and do your normal gymnastics, and then the scores will sort themselves out. So
it's going to be a 9.925 for McCallum.
It's always really exciting to come down to the wire on these events and really just gives a preview for what NCAA regional championships and national champions like. It's a really, really fun time. For those of you listening at home, it's just a really cool atmosphere to be a part of, especially during NCAA championships. So keep tuning in.
After a bit of a discussion, we're finally going to see the score for Journey Lane on floor from West Virginia, and it is at 9.85.
West Virginia continuing to do well on floor exercise. They really have yet to put together a full meet, which was one of Jason's goals. Is he was like, I really want to just put together a full meet. He was excited last week at Denver. They didn't have to count a fall, but I can tell that they're working on the little details and just, like he said, building upon what went good. And things are going really well here today in the Coliseum for West Virginia.
Mount Senior's fifth competitor on floor is Emerson Smith.
Emerson opens up with a round-off full in. A little bit short, doesn't get fully rotated. But again, Emerson just being a freshman, already competing at a high level. Is really impressive for this young West Virginia team.
Elizabeth Gantner competing last for Utah on beam.
Shows a stunning back handspring layout step out. Absolutely no deductions.
Sophomore from Indianapolis.
Emerson getting ready for last pass. Front layout to Rudy for her combination pass. Something she's really been working on. Just having fun with her dance. It's something that she's not very comfortable doing either. But she's getting it as the meets go on.
So one more mount here to go. Again, this is the final Utah scoring competitor. We'll see an exhibition as well on beam after Gantner finishes up here.
Nice. Round off 1.5 dismount. Does take that tiny, tiny step, but Elizabeth Gantner has been the anchor on this event for a few weeks now. Career high of a 9.875 3 times. Emerson's last pass there shows nice height on both. Nice controlled landing. And that round off 1.5 dismount there. Doesn't quite get through her feet on the punch. A little bit under rotated, but again, wow, beautiful routine.
I mean, we're waiting on the score for Gantner, but their lowest score right now is a 9.875 on beam. Utah is so impressive.
This is something that Utah does every single week, so really, really impressed with them as a team. Overall, really excited to watch them here in the Coliseum live. It's been really, really fun to be a part of this whole day, so really grateful to be a part of this opportunity.
9.825, the score for West Virginia and Emerson Smith. That is just off her career best of a 9.85. Last but not least, Riley Manis.
Riley Manis, another freshman in this floor lineup, has been going first, kind of moved back a little bit in the lineup to see kind of where she fits in best. But watch how intense and just beautiful her dance is. Beautiful round off 1.5 front layout to a pose to start. You can see her toe point, her precision, and her fingertips. That's all things that the judges will look at. Hits that 180 split. Really taking her time for this last pass. It's a front handspring Rudy, a little bit under rotated.
Riley Manis under the watchful eye of Jason Butts. Applause from the Mountaineer head coach.
Again, just important and incredible to note that 3 of these athletes in this floor lineup are just freshmen. So, you know, we've had lineups in the past where we've had them go freshman year all the way through senior year, and wow, you know the difference in freshman year to senior year. So them getting experience on this event already in their career is just going to help propel them so much in the future.
Another look at that pass from Manis.
A little bit lack of endurance there. I know she was battling, like a lot of teams around, going through some illnesses through the team, but wasn't feeling too well last year, so you might have seen a little bit of that gas there at the end kind of run out. But
very much like we said in the last rotation, good rotation all around. Florida puts up a 49-4, Utah 49-5-2-5. We're winning the final score for West Virginia, but they're not going to have to throw out anything bad. They already got a 49-175. We're winning that score for Manis. Mountaineers, Utes, and Gators huddling right now, awaiting final instructions from their coaches and final results here. We'll be back to wrap this meet up from the Coliseum. Stay with us on ESPN+. A 194.1. They put up a 195.475 today, Kaylin.
Oh, I think this Mountaineer team should be so excited about the day they had today. Jason's goal was to really put together a full meet. They did that last week. I feel like they built on that. They're keep giving more athletes experience and building confidence.
Utah fantastic once again today, 197.425. Really excelled on beam and floor.
It's hard to say. It's funny because I'm like, oh, they did make some mistakes for them today, but just little things here and there. Overall, obviously still a great road score for Utah, but they're going to have to clean things up as they progress through season. And
Florida's going to get a nice road win, avenging their 3rd place, 4th place with Utah at Nationals last year. They put up a 197.575. You take a look at the great beam work from Utah. Florida really finished well in vault.
Yeah, like I said, all these teams are always in such close competition. Every 10th matters when it comes down to it postseason. But wow, to end on such an exclamation point on vault, which an event that has been really scored tough this year, and they put up a really great score. So again, like Utah, have a little bit of things to clean up here and there, but I'm excited to see all of these teams move forward through the rest of the season.
You see the event by event scores, and again, really nothing to complain about for any of these 3 schools. They were able to put up strong numbers.
Yeah, really exciting today. All 3 coaches just thought the atmosphere was so great. It was really fun to be here and to just be a part of it. So I think every one of these coaches are going to be happy with their performances from their athletes today.
I think Westy especially circles that 4 and says we were right behind Florida, and we were only 0.15 behind Utah on the floor.
Yeah, and that's something I spoke about earlier in the broadcast, but we talked about with Jason is, you know, you might have the number 2 and the number 4 team coming in, but it's a clean slate when you start. You never know what's going to happen, who's going to make mistakes. So you just really have to be on your A game. All these teams really wanted to just focus in on their gymnastics, control their controllables. Obviously, you can't control scoring. You can't control anything that any other team does. So really trying to just focus on their controllables and just be grateful, like we said, and just be present in the moment. And this is such a cool opportunity that every one of these athletes get to compete at the highest level in NCAA gymnastics.
Event winners today, Selena Harris Marina from Florida, McKenna Smith from Utah, share vault, both putting up 9.95s. On bars, another shared responsibility. 2 Floridians, Leanne Wong, Anya Pilgrim with 9.925s. On beam, the title belonging to Grace McCallum of Utah with a 9.925, and Apata Yuru from Utah also with a 9.925. So very strong rotation there from the Utes to split that. And then on floor, as this loads, Florida's Sloan Blakely with a 9.95 to win that. We had 6 scores of 9.9 or better on floor between these 3 teams.
Yeah, really, like I said, all these teams, or all these coaches are going to be really impressed with their routines. I think there's definitely some things to clean up through season, but it's kind of that middle way of the season where you're getting a little tired, battling a little bit of injuries here and there, battling some sickness that's been going around across the country. So really just taking every meet as it is and just focusing on regrouping and figuring out what to build on from the good every week moving forward. So really impressed with all these teams and the day they had today.
Speaking of building on, because of the mistake on vault by Sloan Blakely, Journey Lane actually beat her in the all-around.
See, exactly. You just never quite know. You just really got to always be on your game and just put yourself out there to really do a good job and maximize yourself. So really proud of Journey. Like I said, unfortunate for Sloan to have a mistake that she never really does. But again, that's one of those things you just kind of shake off and move on through next week.
Caitlin, this was such a fun day. What are your final thoughts from this?
I don't know. My thoughts are just like, I'm so grateful for this. This has been so much fun. Just being a part of the whole production. Jason and I talked about how much goes into putting on a competition, right? And you wouldn't know it when you're competing and you're the one getting glorified for everything, but there's so much that goes into these meets, and really just thought the marketing team did a great job. There was a ton of fans, the energy was good, and I thought you felt that through each of the teams, and all the coaches are really grateful to be a part of it as well. So just thought overall, really, really fun meet here in the Coliseum.
Another fantastic job by you, Kellen Millick. West Virginia finishes third, a 195.475. Utah in second place with a 197.425. Florida wins this meet with a 197.575. So once again, for Kellen Millick, I'm Michael Minnick saying so long from the WVU Coliseum. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Thanks for watching, and goodbye from the University City.